What's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're covering TEAMGROUP's T-FORCE XTREEM, but not in your regular Narvik black color, because at Computex they presented, I think it was a pink and the snow white versions as well. And since I covered the Narvik black, but it had different clock speeds, it's going to be interesting to check out these, because these are 2x16 at 8000 megahertz. So we're going to check them out, and since we have the opportunity to check them out on the new Intel platform, I'm going to pair it up with Intel Core Ultra 9 285K and to see actually how it performs over there. Will there be any differences, or will it just simply perform as it should? So all in all, quite interesting. The cool thing, I'm going to interrupt myself. The cool thing about these Extreme T-Force RAMs is it has that matte finish. So whatever you do, however you place them in your PC, touching them like this or whatever, you don't have any fingerprints. And I'm really digging this because, for instance, I do like 5 builds per week or something like that. And in those terms, I usually use, I use DDR5s that have to be tested, and then for B-roll or any other shots, or in general, there are fingerprints. But for you guys that actually place them once and you don't have fingerprints, but it's totally relevant for the video. But it has a nice matte finish, as well as the Narvik black and the pink color. Really cool. Digging the T-Force logo here. It looks like a badge stamped on these RAMs. T-Force logo on the top, and Snow White, of course, DDR5 from T-Force Lab. At the back we have some specs and serial numbers, and that's it. Heatsink looks impressive because when you take a look at it, they're really low profile when we're talking about the PCB. And then you have here at the back 4 ribs, 4 fins for the heatsink to better dissipate the heat, which is outstanding. So as I stated, we're talking about 2x16 gigs, 8000 megahertz at CL38 1.45 volts. And these can definitely fit quite nicely in a nice clean white build. Now when we're talking about benchmarks and what I did, of course I tested it on Intel, but since that build was completely black, all my B-roll will be shot in a full white build, but that was on AMD. So just so you don't mix anything up or think that I did the benchmarks with 8000 megahertz on AMD, that's not possible. So in those terms, the benchmarks were done on Intel platform, and the B-roll shots were done on AMD just for the visual aspects, and so you guys can see how it actually looks quite nice in full white PC. And mentioning benchmarks, we're going at AIDA 64 cache and system memory, where read speeds go up to 117.45 gigabytes per second, write speed 98,372 megabytes per second, copy 102.71 gigabytes per second, latency 87.4 nanoseconds. This is outstanding, I do have to admit. Now when we go with Cinebench R23, because I really wanted to check it out, how it performs with the CPU and what results will it give. It started at 38,688 score, and then it just started to eventually build up to 39,394, which is quite solid. But for that CPU you would expect more, but for the RAMs there was no problems and quite good. Corona 1.3, and I had prior, when I did the review for the Intel Core Ultra 9 285K, I actually had different kit inside the build where I tested. They had the same 8000 megahertz clock speed. Corona 1.3 render time was 45 seconds in both scenarios, so both 8000 megahertz finished at 45 seconds. And when we're talking about TEAMGROUP T-FORCE XTREEM Snow White, they had 10,779,100 rays per second, which is quite solid. And then we go to Indigo benchmark. We have Bedroom at 3.445 million samples per second, while the Supercar was 8.697 million samples per second. Usually what you get is only read-write copy speeds, but I really wanted to go in addition to add Cinebench and how the CPU acts with these DDR5s, and basically there was literally no problem whatsoever. So you just boot up the BIOS and add the XMP Profile 1, which automatically recognizes. PC actually booted out of the first try. There was no literally problems whatever. So yeah, quite cool and surprising, because usually when we take into consideration DDR5 and how it started and how it's still going, some do tend to still have some issues with loading up the profile, XMP profile 1, but that's totally something different for another story. And I'm saying that quite a lot lately in my videos, but yeah. All in all, what I can say is TEAMGROUP T-FORCE XTREEM, Snow White, Narvik Black and Pink, they all look outstandingly clean, nice design, matte finish, speeds are there because there is no situation that they can't perform. The whole thing, they're really heavy because of the passive heatsink and these top part with the fins. It really looks insane, clean but insane. I do have to admit that. And they just simply work. TEAMGROUP's products just simply work, and there's no flaws in that. So if that's what you want and that's what you're aiming for, the links are in the description for these ones specifically on 8000 MHz CL38 to 1016 gigs, so you can check it out and pair it up with your build. And just in case you don't want white, you want the black ones, the Narvik Black or Pink, I'll place those two as well at the same speeds, so you can check it out and pair it up in your PC and make it look quite cool. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell. See you quite soon in another one. Bye bye.